Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing on this Thursday evening? Happy New Year, everyone. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to Good Evening with Reganelite here, where for this 1 hour live stream, guys, we're going to be looking at the weather. We're going to have a look at some of the news that's been happening as well. And we will have a look at the first daily quote of the year. So for those who are wondering why I didn't do a Good Morning Show this year, for those who missed out on the previous ones, just for reference here, the reason why there was no Good Morning Show was I was at the New Year's Eve parade in London, because we went there last year and it was miserable. It was pouring down with rain. Couldn't enjoy it as much as we wanted to. But this year, it was just very, very cold. And we were there for about 3.5 hours before we headed off. So it was really, really good. It was a great parade. Absolutely, people were fantastic. Their loving the multiculturalism of London as well, with from different backgrounds and whatnot. It's absolutely wonderful, guys. And the London Parade was celebrating 40 years, guys. 40 years it's celebrated today as well, which is also a fantastic thing as well. So the New Year's Parade celebrating its 40th anniversary as well, which I thought was very, very lovely indeed. They absolutely knocked it out the park. There was a little bit of shuffling, sometimes on that. They have lots of great bands and communities there. We had some quad bikers there. There was some lovely, very cute groups there with beautiful horses and even cute little baby donkeys trotting along the parade as well, which was absolutely nice. One of the things I actually want to do next time I go to the parade is actually take some fold-up chairs to the show. So that I can just pop them down so that we can sit down while we wait instead of leaning on the side. Actually, I think that's something I should look to get into perhaps next year. See if we can do something like that for next year, guys. Because I'm so glad that we went, because it reminds me that you hear all the time from people about, oh, London's a terrible place and all this kind of nonsense online. But no, if you actually go into it and you actually see it for yourself, it's a great place. And everyone was lovely. So the London Parade, I do recommend people checking it out. It was lovely indeed, and I'm glad my partner and her mum came, and it was very, very nice indeed. So a good evening to Pete's Music and Stephen Banker and anybody else who's lurking in the chats. Good to see you guys there. Hope you guys are doing well, and Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year indeed. Obviously, the intro, I don't have a good evening intro. Unfortunately, the program that I used to create the good morning video, I don't have it saved on the program, which means that I couldn't use the video that I normally use and just basically edit out the wording from good evening to good morning. I couldn't do that. So I was trying to put a video together, and I just didn't have the same as I did before, which, well, what can you do, guys? What can you do? Anyways, just a quick reference as well before we get going as well. Just down here below, guys, is all the lovely, wonderful people who have financially supporting me right now while I am currently demonetized. And those who have, whether they have joined the Patreon or buy me a coffee. If you would love to have your name along here, guys, because all those who financially support me while I'm in this difficult situation, and I am, it really does make a difference, guys. You can links are in the description. There's an option where it says support me here, and there's a link to either buy me a coffee or Patreon. Click on one of those two links, guys. It'll take you, and you can either join the Patreon, where you'll get additional content. More will be coming next week, just for reference on there. Or you can buy me a coffee with a small fee if you want to donate and support towards the work that I do. Either one of those, and your name will be popping up here. And it pops up and we do it every Good Morning Show, which we do every Monday to Friday for those who don't join us on the Good Morning Show. Your name will appear along here, guys. And it's just I know it's not much, but it's my way of giving back to you, because obviously we're currently demonetized, so I can't give you guys stuff as YouTube members, and I don't know if or when it's going to get fixed, guys, because I have a lot on my plate at the moment. Next week there should be a bit of normality. It's the first full week of the new year, so hopefully I'll be able to get in touch with somebody new that I can talk to at YouTube that might be able to help me. And there are 1 or 2 contacts I can speak to if to try and get this resolved as soon as possible here. So, and Jao, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well, guys. Make sure you check out Jao's YouTube channel. Link is in the description as well. Rosemary there, good to see you there, and hope you are doing well. And anybody else who's lurking in the chats. So let's get this 1 hour show underway, guys. Here is today's daily quota, the first one of the calendar year. Here it is, guys. The first one of the calendar year. This is the first of the year for 2026. I've got to get used to it now. It's 2026. It's going to take some time for me to get it in my head. So, Aura MC Parland here. And it is, this new year brings opportunity to create your future while building on what you've learned from the past. This new year brings opportunity to create your future whilst building on what you've learned in the past. That is today's daily quota, the 1st of January, guys. And we will look at tomorrow's one for the 2nd of January, tomorrow morning. That is today's New Year quota there. Happy New Year, Wichikoff. Good to see you there as well. I hope you have a year filled with happiness, joy, and harmony. Thank you, Wichikoff. I hope your year is filled with happiness, joy, and harmony, not just to you, but everyone here in the chat. I generally mean that. I really hope 2026 goes well for everyone here. I really mean that sincerely. I thank you guys for giving your time for me. I really, really appreciate it. So, guys, shall we have a look at the weather? It's a bit weird to look at the weather at this time in the evening, but this is what we're doing, because this is literally the good morning show, but it's the good evening show because we're doing it in the evening, guys. So let's have a look and see what the weather is installed for us, guys. Here it is. I like to do that sometimes. The weather report, guys. It is the weather report. Here it is, our big beautiful planet. It is there's lots of rainstorms, there's lots of snowstorms, there's lots of showers around, and there is some dry spells on our big beautiful planet. And as we zoom in a little bit, we can see some different vast temperatures here. You can see I've got it set for Friday 6 o'clock and not Thursday as well. You noticed that in the chat. So we got one of the coldest places on the planet, Yellowknife. So funnily enough, guys, I mentioned Yellowknife. I mentioned Yellowknife every time we look at the weather, right? So my partner actually watched a video on how people survive in Yellowknife, and she told me that you cannot go out if you step outside without proper protection, your eyelashes could freeze. It's that cold. You can suffer severely. It's like going into space. That's how cold it is. You literally have to put so much on before you step outside of Yellowknife. But their homes, I've been told, are very insulated in there. I do recommend typing in Yellowknife and have a look at it yourself. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating lifestyle that you live in an insulated box, but you've got to put on so much clothes before you step outside, guys, because the temperature is we complain about it being cold now. It is nothing in comparison to what people who live there like. Nothing in comparison. Absolutely brutal. Cold and effing wet, that is the weather. Good evening, Dave McGuinness. It's good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year. I look forward to having you back on the round table later this month as well, and I'm really excited to see the two hopefully to see both you and David Mulligan together this Monday. Cross fingers if Dave Mulligan is ready up for it, but if not, looking forward to another lovely paper review this Monday at 10:30. It'll be definitely a great show. So guys, if you're not subscribed to Davies, please do check out their wonderful stuff. It's going to be really they do really good stuff there. Really looking forward to the year ahead on their YouTube channel. Hello and happy New Year. Yep, there. And Giles provide a link there. So other parts of the world, guys, we can see Anchorage minus 22. Vancouver is 7 degrees. San Francisco 13. New York 0. Ottawa minus 14. That's cold. Miami is 21, guys. Normally it's a little bit warmer, but it's still good weather. Still good weather for Miami. Mexico City then 18 degrees. Parts of South America, the BBC. For those who don't want to know, I'm using the bbc.co.uk/weather map. The link is in the description if you guys want to use it yourself there. They never update South America, but we can presume it's nice and warm. But they do have some rain looking like there over South America there. Moving over into parts of Africa here. We got Cape Town 21, Lagos 29, Dhaka 22 there, Addis Ababa 15 there. Kinshasa 28 degrees. Some nice toasty weather there. But other parts there, you got Windhoek, I hope I said that right, at 25 degrees there. Moving over to the other side of the planet, of our big beautiful planet. Auckland in New Zealand is 17 degrees. Sydney is 19. Perth 24. Darwin 27. So some nice good temperatures in the outback there. We can see Melbourne at 17 there. Brisbane at 20 as well. Port Vila 21, Port Moresby 25 there, some different parts there. Singapore there, a very nice 26 degrees. Bangkok 25 there as well. Philippines 24 there. Colombo 25. Shanghai 25 there. Tokyo, a very cold 0 degrees. And Beijing, parts of China, very, very cold there. You can see Shanghai minus 1, Beijing minus 6 there. More snowstorms around Japan there as well. So if you happen to be there, if you're watching from there, wrap up warm because it's very, very cold. We can see parts of the Middle East here, some different temperatures. Here, New Delhi 9 there in India. Riyadh 19 there, Kuwait City 18. Tehran, a chilly 8 degrees. They're actually getting some snow there. You can see just on the map there. They got some there. Baghdad, 11 degrees there. Cairo, 14 there. Tripoli, 13 there. Let's see what is the temperature of where our friends are in Iceland. Reykjavik, minus 2, guys. Minus 2 there. Murmansk, minus 20 there. Minus 20, guys. Very, very chilly indeed. Very, very chilly indeed. So let's have a look at Europe before we look at the UK. Let me zoom in. Let me make sure I get that right here. For a lot of you guys who are watching, have never watched the Good Morning Show, so you're getting a taster of what the Good Morning Show is like every Monday at 11 a.m. This is what we normally do for an hour. But for those who are coming in and didn't realise, couldn't do a Good Morning Show because I was at the New Year's parade in London because I wanted to see that. So I didn't have time to do a Good Morning Show, unfortunately. So I decided instead that I would do a Good Evening Show instead. So we're basically going to be doing what we normally do in the morning for an hour here on this show here. So for those who are wondering here. Elbows up, Canada. Happy New Year to our Canadian friends there. Ollie Man 007. Hope you have a good one there. Good to see you there. Happy New Year to you. Stay warm, and stay proud, our Canadian brothers and sisters, of course, indeed. And to our Scottish friends, our Portuguese friends, and anywhere, wherever part of the world you are from. Madrid, Spain, 9 degrees. Lisbon, 15. They got some rain showers and that around there. But parts of Europe are experiencing plenty of snowstorms there. Parma 12, Rome 11, Nice 9, Chariot 10 there, Athens 13, Istanbul 8, Bucharest 1, Chistu 12. Just for reference, this is tomorrow at 6 o'clock, the weather report, just for reference here, guys. Zagreb 2, Vienna 2, Zagreb 3, apologies, Vienna 2, Kiev 0, Prague 0, Bern 0, the Swiss Alps, very chilly 0 degrees. We're going to touch on the story from Switzerland as well today, guys. I have seen that story, terrible tragedy story. We will touch on that. We can see a big snowstorm there covering parts of Switzerland, Austria, Germany, and France there. There's a big snowstorm taking place there. Berlin 1 degrees, Warsaw 1. You can see in Eastern Europe it's a very, very chilly there. Lots of snowstorms taking place in and around parts of Eastern Europe. Kiev 0 degrees, Moscow -8, Vilnius -1, Minsk -1, Riyadh -1, St. Petersburg a very cold -11. But you can see all these different snowstorms taking place around parts of Eastern Europe, and that's normally is around in early January, late December those temperatures are usually around those times. And of course, yeah, that's what you get a lot of those snowstorms. You can see another snowstorms there, plenty around there. Just zoom in a little bit here, we can see Paris 1 and Brussels 1 here. And for tomorrow, guys, because for reference here, we can see the UK at tomorrow at around 6 o'clock here. Very cold temperatures. London 2, Cardiff 2, Manchester 1, Dublin 3, Belfast 1, Edinburgh 0 here. We got some rain forecast and we got some snow forecast. So our friends, if I scroll it all the way back to today, this is what they're forecasting for tonight. Going into Friday for tonight, into the next day here. This is what they're forecasting here. This is the temperatures we're expecting overnight tonight, just for reference here. London 3, Cardiff 3, Manchester 2, Dublin 4, Belfast 3, Edinburgh -1 here. Some showers, some snowstorms in Wales, and some snowstorms there in Scotland. Moving a bit further on into the day, we can see those temperatures staying roughly around about the same. And again, the rain and snow still staying around about roughly around about the same there. Moving a bit more into Friday evening there, temperatures still staying around about the same. Very cold again. Do wrap up warm. Please be aware of this. There, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, -1, sorry, for Edinburgh there. Going into Saturday, again, like I said, the snowstorms are not going anywhere. If you're living up in the northern parts of Scotland, please be aware of that. Parts of Wales is also going to experiencing some snowstorms, some snow there. Maybe not a lot. Even parts of Northern Ireland there, but most of England is going to avoid it. Tiny little bits maybe here and there. Moving it into Saturday, early Saturday morning there, we can see, as the BBC map kind of updates a bit more closer and closer here, you can see parts of England are going to experience some snow here. We can see on the east side of England here, there is some snow that could be forecasting dropping on the east side there. But you can see those temperatures there, very, very cold again. Staying around about the same temperatures here in the morning. Excuse me, 1, 1, 0, 0, -1, -1 here. Again, some scattered snows here and there, and tiny little bits maybe still in Wales, but overall there should be okay. Okay, I'm not sure what this is coming in here. This could be sleet, could be snow, but it looks like there's quite a bit of it coming on Saturday here lunchtime. Where is that? How is that coming in there? Well, it's staying around about out in the ocean. It's not really dissipating too much here, but it looks like Saturday evening. Looks like some of that staying out in the ocean. We'll have a look again, obviously, tomorrow morning, because they will update this as it progresses here. But moving into Sunday overnight, yeah, parts of Scotland are still going to be experiencing some snow, but rest of England, it's just going to be very, very cold. So the rain and snow is going to dissipate there. But early from over Saturday night into Sunday morning, you can see there is some snow going to be dropping in parts of Wales there, and parts of Northern Ireland also going to be experiencing that as well. You can see there again, parts of Northern Scotland, parts of Wales again. Looks like some of mid of England was going to get some as well. But moving into Monday, there we can see those temperatures still staying very cold. Some of it getting even colder. So please be aware of that again, guys and girls. Monday morning here, we can see those temperatures there still staying very, very cold. Some snow still forecast in parts, but most of it will start dissipating and temperatures will slightly increase on Monday. And I say slightly. And then they'll drop back down again to the negatives here overnight into it. And then we can see there, you can see this big rainstorm looks like it's going to be coming in on Monday night into Tuesday here, actually. Is that coming right in? Yeah, those temperatures are staying very cold. Looks like snow's going to dissipate Monday and Tuesday. Looks like it's there. Looks like there will be some snow forecast in parts of Scotland there. But going into Tuesday, yeah, parts of snow and rain is going to be dropping in Scotland. It looks like we're going to get some tiny bits of snow, but it looks like rain's going to be coming into parts of Northern Ireland, and some of it will dissipate into southern England there. So that is some of the forecasts we've got for the next couple of days there, guys, just for reference there. So we will get some rain, we may get some showers, depending on where you are in the UK. But overall, it's going to be cold, as you would expect. Again, like I always say, people, please wrap up warm. Take all necessary precautions that you need to. And I will remind you guys again tomorrow morning on our Good Morning show. North Lancashire, now -1 cold. It was 0 degrees this morning when I woke up. It was 0 degrees. That's what my weather app said when I woke up here. Everyone's saying Happy New Year. Have I missed anyone? Oh, Sarah, good evening to you. Happy New Year. Good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for popping in. Counter Kev, Happy New Year to you. Good to see you there as well. Hope you are doing well. Hope I haven't missed anybody there. Pete's Music, if I didn't say Happy New Year to you, Happy New Year. Good to see you there as well. Hope you are doing well. Don't think I've missed anyone. If I have, do let me know in the comments. Right, let's have a look at some of the news we've got for this, because we've got about 40 minutes. Like I said, we're only going to go for an hour, guys. Start with The Guardian. Headlines, what they got here. Shameful. 41,000 people have reached the UK by small boat last year, says the Home Office. Second highest annual number of irregular arrivals on record reached British shores in 2025. Is that number too high? Yes, it is too high, guys. Are we doing anything necessary to deal with this? No, we are not doing anything necessary to deal with this. The Home Office is a joke. I'm just going to call it what it is. The Home Office is a joke. It's not. It's system. It's not fit for purpose. Doesn't do what it's supposed to do on the tin, and I think the Home Office should be broken up because it manages far too many things. I think there should be a section in the government for immigration. I think it should be separated from the Home Office. I think you should separate it from. I just think the system that we have just does not work. I do agree that they are processing people a lot faster. This Labour government is processing a lot of people a lot more faster. A lot more people are getting deported. Some are getting accepted as well. I do accept that this Labour government are doing a hell of a lot better when it comes to dealing with migrants arriving on our shores. But in terms of actually stopping them, which is the one thing which is the likes of the Conservatives and those on the right keep talking and banging on about, they're not doing anything to stop this. And I've said this before and I said this again and I'll repeat this all the time. For those who don't know, the best solution to stopping people coming by irregular means, coming by small boats or jumping and hiding in trucks or other means to try and come to the UK, not by a legal route, which there is no legal way to come to the UK without getting on a plane. And you know that costs money and some people don't have that. We need to have safe and legal routes for people to come to the UK. And unless we have that, we're not going to deal with this. I do think that number is high. But at the same time, we need more people. What we don't want is these people. Sitting on entitlements. That's one thing I'm pretty sure none of us want us to do. We want them to work. We want them to contribute to society. But every single person situation, every single case must be handled differently. Everyone should not be treated the same. And it has to be dealt in a case-by-case basis. Some are justified, some are not justified. And I think that's a really important point to make here. But I do agree that the number is too high, and the number does need to be reduced. But as long as we don't have safe and legal routes, the government, no matter whether it is Labour, whether it's Conservatives, or even if Reform, God forbid, comes in next year, Reform Russia, they will not solve this situation. And that will not change. So 41,000, obviously too high. I know, frustrating. Labour needs complete reset to defeat Reform UK threat, says strategist. So new Labour advancing guru Chris Powell says urgent plan needed to wage and win the deadly war for attention. I've already spoken about this. Max has spoken about this. Other influencers and people online have spoken about this. One of the big ways that Labour can win back, I would say win back. Well, it's all about controlling the narrative. It's about controlling the narrative in the media. And Labour do an absolute piss poor job when it comes to controlling the narrative. They're crap at social media, and they're not hiring the necessary people to do that. If they actually hired YouTubers who actually back Labour, it would be a lot better for them. Like Phil Morehouse is a prime example of someone they should hire to help them with their social media campaign. Like he is like even he may have ditched his Labour membership, but we know he's Labour through and through, guys. Although it won't fix all the problems of Labour, it can certainly help them, especially getting into touch with the younger generation, which aren't feeling what Labour are feeling here. The other thing, of course, is one of the main bear buggers of course, is the cost of living crisis. And Reform Russia has an obvious solution, and that is blame the migrants. And it's an easy scapegoat for them. And Labour, while they have introduced some good policies, like there's been some really, really negative politics that have come out of them, and some really nasty language of them, going too much farther down on the too much further to the right with some of the language that's been coming out of their mouths. I do not want to see Keir Starmer still Prime Minister by the end of this year. I don't wish for people to lose their jobs, but when it comes to like improving people's lives, Labour are not doing anywhere near enough they need to do in it. I accept that it takes things to build, but he does not have control of the public. He's not winning them back. And there's still time between now and the local elections. But then they're not offering something that will fix people's problems. They're not offering solutions that will put money in their pockets. They're doing tiny little things here and there. Like freezing the rail fare is all well and good, but, it's not reducing the bills. Like they've taken some money off energy bills, which is a start, but it's nowhere near enough it needs to be. The minimum wage doesn't work. Increasing the minimum wage doesn't work as long as every other bill keeps going up. Bills are still rising. Yeah, even though they've stopped in other parts, there's still bills rising every year. Until we freeze the bills, people are still going to be paying more to live, and it's not right. So Keir Starmer does not have enough of a plan to defeat the existential threat that populism poses to UK democracy and should undertake a fundamental reset. New Labour's former advertising strategist Sir Chris Powell has warned. So Powell, who's brother of Jonathan Powell, Starmer's national security advisor, has warned that there were just 3 years to stop the new and terrifying threat of populists, suggesting reform Russia could represent a danger to democracy and national institutions. Writing for The Guardian, he said, here in the UK, where there is such urgency, needed counterplan on a huge scale, and to thwart and head off such an existential threat is simply not in place, nor does it appear to be even at the planning stage. We are at a very dangerous moment. We simply cannot afford to allow reform Russia to have a free run and become established and entrenched as a credible potential government in the minds of disenchanted voters. The longer they go unchallenged, the more unthreatening and risk-free they will seem to voters. Just hoping that reform Russia and Nigel Farage implode, or the right-wing vote will somehow fracture as potentially suicidal for our freedom and democracy. What I think some people are kind of hoping is that there is a bit of a resurgence from the Conservatives. And at the top end of this year, we've seen that there has been a bit of a resurgence in the Conservatives. People have started to kind of, some of those people on the right have kind of taken a chime to Kemi Bagnall. And she's actually gotten better at PMQs as well. But she still sometimes shoots herself in the foot. But she shoots herself in the foot a bit less than she did when she originally started, I think it's fair to say. So yeah, this Wednesday's Prime Minister's questions will be a real good test to see, like, how she goes into the new year, because there is there's a lot of pressure on her. I think the Conservatives. I wonder how well they're going to do at the local elections. Like, we expect Reform to do well. We expect the Greens to do well, in particular. But I'm talking in particular in England. It'd be interesting to see what happens in Scotland and Wales when it comes to those local elections there. I hope the SNP do well. I hope people are not swayed by voting Reform or sticking with Labour for the sake of Scottish independence. I hope that people in Wales turn to Plaid Cymru as a party that's by Wales, for Wales in particular, and not turning to Labour, which they've put up with for so long, or to Reform UK, who want to open up the coal mines and bring back fracking and bang on about immigration in Wales when the Welsh administration can't do anything about immigration because it's not a devolved matter. I hope people see through that and vote for Plaid Cymru there, but they are winning a lot of hearts and minds there. Pete's Music said cost of living is out of control. I did a top up shop in Aldi on the 30th. Basics except a shuffled duck toy for the middle aisle came to a tad under £100. A WATF, a scandal. When me and my partner and she wanted like we were at the London Parade for about 3.5 hours. It was like 3:30. We didn't have lunch and I was like starving, and we couldn't find somewhere to eat. And normally what we did last year we went to the Last year we went into the Charing Cross station because it's literally a stone's park from Trafalgar Square from where we were. And if you go to any of the convenience shops around the area, they have no proper food because because people go to them. They eat out. They take all the sandwiches and whatnot. People eat before the London Parade and whatnot. So when we went into Charing Cross, I was really angry because the pastry shops were shut because Charing Cross station was closed until the station was open, but they weren't running trains. They're not running trains until Monday. But the station was open, the toilets were open, and they didn't have the pastry shops open, which I was a bit annoyed about. But there was it Costa Coffee? I think it was Costa Coffee or Cafe Neo. I think it was Costa Coffee. My missus pointed them out, and I said, well, they've got food there. And I was like, yeah, but it's not cheap. And so I kid you not, this is what she paid, guys, all right? I got a ham and cheese sandwich. She got another sandwich. Her mum got, I think, like a something roll or something, and all these had to be cooked. And we all asked for hot drinks as well. And she paid £25 roughly for all of that. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, 25 quid. 25 quid. Like that's a lot of money for some sandwiches and hot drinks. Talk about inflation. Insane. What we should do is just go to New Year's parade with a bloody icebox and some packed sandwiches. Absolutely ridiculous. Glasgow Kiss, Happy New Year to you. Good to see you there. Thank you for all your support. It's great to see you there, lurking in the chat. Hope you are doing well. Kemi's attorney, Jen, defending Abramovich seems dodgy. Yeah, that's been a dodgy story as well. That definitely has been a dodgy story. His intervention comes as Starmer faces deep unhappiness about his own party, about Labour's poor poll ratings, about his own personality and popularity, while reform has led in opinion surveys for almost a year. The PM will attempt a New Year's push on reducing the cost of living through cuts to the energy bill, interest rates and ending the two-child cap, saying that voters will start seeing their lives improved in 2026. And I generally mean this. I hope that comes to fruition. I hope people do start to feel better off. I really, really mean that. You know, I want people's lives to improve. I generally do. Regardless of your political allegiances. I want people to see that. I want people to feel that. And if that means more people turning a vote for Labour, then, you know, it makes me happy that people's lives are better because of policy decisions that Labour have made. But are they doing enough, in my view? No. I feel like they're not doing enough of it. While Farage and reform dominate social media, Number 10 also has plans to overhaul its communication strategy to reach more voters in new ways, such as through influencers and viral videos on channels, including TikTok. This is something they need to do more of. I think we covered a story, I can't remember if it was earlier this week, where they paid a lot. There was a lot of money paid by the government towards influencers. They paid a lot, for that as well. I was in London recently, got a cheap pint, £6.70 as a Scotsman, and nearly fainted. £6.70. Do you know how insane that sounds, Glasgow, right? I will never forget, a long time ago, I think it was like more than 10 years ago. So my parents, more than 10 years ago, actually. There was a big group of us of a family, and we went to Sunny Beach, Bulgaria. And I kid you not, guys, this is absolutely true. In Bulgaria, this is before today they adopt the euro currency, but before that they had the levy currency. And do you want to know how much beer was in Bulgaria, Sunny Beach, Bulgaria? 1 levy. That's like the equivalent. It was like the equivalent of 70p. 70p. And Glasgow Kiss saying there he bought a cheap pint for £6.70. Insane. Insane, guys. That's another reason why I don't drink. Oh, if I do, it's very, very little. Mind you, though, I very rarely drink, to be fair, guys, as you know. Almost never drink. What other stories is there? Plansky prepared to work with Andy Burnham, but not Starmer to stop reform. Might look at that tomorrow, guys. Might look at that one tomorrow. Keir Starmer to woo voters and MPs with a new year plan to cut cost of living. Yeah, we saw that already. Hundreds of Blackpool families to be evicted en masse. A dispersion of vulnerable people. I will look at that story tomorrow as well. Calls for routine high blood pressure testing on UK children as cases almost double. Yeah, we definitely should look. Yeah, some of these stories, guys, we may dive into a bit more tomorrow. Birmingham revealed as turnout for non-existent fireworks for the second year in a row. 100 people gather at Stadium Square to see in 2026 after false claims online promised dazzling display. Lasers, laser drones. I've said ditch the fireworks, more laser drones. We have seen some fantastic displays from countries without the need of fireworks. We can do lasers. We have drones. We can make beautiful things with lasers. We don't need fireworks to have a fantastic Happy New Year celebration. We don't need fireworks. Okay? We honestly don't. Yeah, we can still have great New Year celebrations. Like, can we be a bit more adaptive? Is it really that hard to not have fireworks? Like, seriously? So, other stories here before we switch gears. Snow and ice forecast. Yep, we talked about that. UK law firms getting ready for crackdown on money laundering. We'll see about that. UK ministers face increasing pressure to restrict gambling ads. This is something that needs to be done. I don't watch football anymore, but one thing I cannot stand about when I was watching football was how much betting ads they do. They are such scroungers, scum of the earth, these betting ads, where they they throw it in your faces so much. During the games, on the billboards, they always have adverts in the halftime interval, on the build-up to games and after games. They're literally throwing it at your face so hard, saying, bet. I hate it. I hate it so much. It needs to be dumbed down so badly. It really, really does. I'm not going to go as far as say it should be banned altogether, but they need to dim it down so much. They need to reduce the ads significantly around football games because they are killing people so much with the amount of money that they hoard off football fans. They really need to do more on this. Absolutely. Roddy, happy New Year to you. Hope you are doing well. They named the league after a betting company. That's insane, isn't it, Sarah? Absolutely insane. Ministers will come under mounting pressure to introduce curbs on gambling advertisements this year as MPs and campaigners latch on to polling indicate that widespread public support for tougher restrictions. Policies affecting gambling have been the subject of fierce debate over recent years, leading to stricter regulations of the £12.5 billion a year sector and higher taxes announced in November's budget despite intense lobbying by the industry. I'm glad they're getting taxed, but yeah, we can tax so much more on these guys. But while successive governments have brought in measures at such a lower stake, limited on online slot machineries and statutory levy defined additional treatment, gambling advertising remain largely unaffected. This is the problem. New polling shared by The Guardian indicates strong public backing for a much less permissive approach to gambling ads, which have exploded in volume since deregulation by Tony Blair's Labour government in 2005. Fuck you, Tony Blair. Fuck you. Seriously. Surveys were conducted by More in Common and commissioned by the campaign to end gambling advertising as part of a reported title, Ending a Losing Streak. You know what? Honestly, if we can get, I don't know if we can end it altogether, but if we can significantly reduce it, we will put so much more money in people's pockets because so many people get hooked into gambling. It can save people's lives. It really can. Yeah, you know what? We get less money from the gambling industry. Fuck them. You know, they don't get that taxed enough as it is, as far as I'm concerned. They found that 70% of people support tougher curbs on advertising and sponsorship, saying 27% said gambling companies should not be allowed to promote themselves at all. In a forward to a report, the former Conservative Party leader Ian Duncan Smith said the report shows that tougher regulation of the gambling sector will not only be uncontroversial, but it will carry strong public support from voters across the political spectrum. Yeah, regardless of your political allegiances, the logic is there. If we are to protect the next generation from gambling harm, we must act. Listen, as someone who loves playing video games and is fully aware about how Video games entice people with loot boxes and whatnot, encouraging people to spend there, and that's a dangerous addiction on there. If we've heard politicians and whatnot talking about doing more to restrict it when it comes to video games, why are we not doing the same when it comes to sports? In 2019, gambling companies agreed to voluntary whistle-to-whistle code, which they do not advertise during sporting fixtures shown before 9 p.m. They also agreed to make 20% of their advertisements dedicated to responsible gambling. They do, look, I will say that in the adverts, they do highlight on their adverts. They don't actually say it, but they have it in their imageries, like, you know, please gamble responsibly and all that kind of stuff. But it's just kind of like their sort of thing. According to some estimates, the industry still spends around £2 billion a year on advertising and marketing, although the sector's lobbying group, the Betting and Gambling Council, BGC, claims the figure is much lower at £1.15 billion. It said because the larger estimates include illicit operators. So Betty Cooper, a Labour MP, says while successive governments have rightly taken tentative steps towards improving regulation of the gambling industry, we need to go further. Yeah, so Tony Blair basically fucked a lot of people over, essentially, because of his policy on it. Okay, we've seen enough of The Guardian there. I think we need to switch gears there. We covered quite a fair bit from that paper there, to be on it. My brother lost close to £20,000 in 1 year. Thankfully, he doesn't gamble anymore. Stephen Banker, like, right there is a prime example of just how destructive the gambling industry is. Just how destructive is just on that comment there. £20,000 of your brother's hard-earned money that he has earned, and it is gone, and he close to that amount has gone due to gambling. Right there, it's a prime example of how people's lives have been, people's lives, like that amount of money is such significant, so significant to people's lives these days. Just right there, it's a prime example of it. Mad Monk, Happy New Year to you. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Another one of our fabulous moderators in the chat there. You do not need to apologise for being late. A shout out to all the moderators who are here. Jao, Mad Monk 33, and our newest member of the mod team, Stephen Banker there. Thank you guys for looking after the chat. I really do appreciate all you guys so much there. We can end it via regulation as we did with tobacco, and the tax take is the big thing, says Dave McGuinness. We just like they have a lot of influence. But just like everything, you know, if enough public support gets behind it, if there's enough pressure, the politicians will fold. It's just about applying the pressure. It's about applying the pressure on politicians. Right down from when it comes to writing emails and letters to MPs on a local level. You know, keep that pressure on. You know, when it comes to those discussions, you know, bring it up, you know. There are plenty of ways you can get involved and write to your MP about this, you know, because remember, there are a lot of MPs who are being influenced by the gambling industry, and we got to pressure them. They've got to pressure them. Not just, you know, because I think about how many lives have been destroyed, and you know, people would be so much better off if they weren't being influenced by them. You know, I really, really do. Right, guys, let's switch gears and have a look at some global news, guys, because it's been obviously one of the biggest stories, of course, is the absolutely terrible tragedy that took place in Switzerland, guys. For those who don't know the story, I'm going to play the video here for...
We are following breaking news in what is being called one of the worst tragedies in Switzerland's history.
Let me see if I can get a bigger video. 1 second. Because I do want to play this for you guys, because I do think it's important. Give me a second. Hopefully they will not put an advertisement up. So I do think this is important.
What is being called one of the worst tragedies in Switzerland's history. A fire commander says they're still trying to confirm casualties, but that around 40 people are dead, 115 or so injured from a fire at a New Year's celebration last night in the Swiss Alps. Investigators are trying to figure out how the fire started. They still believe the fire caused an explosion, making it spread rapidly. It happened at a popular bar in the luxurious ski resort called Crans Montana. It's 25 miles away from the Matterhorn. Officials say many young people were there to celebrate the new year, packing into a ground floor lounge and speakeasy-style basement bar. The first reports came in around 1:30 in the morning local time there, with smoke and flames soon engulfing the whole building. Firefighters quickly arrived. They were able to put it out, but so many people were hurt that the local hospital hit full capacity. They had to send people elsewhere.
It was so bad. The fire was so bad and so many people got burned. And you can see the numbers there. It was so bad that they had to transfer people to other hospitals. Like, that's how bad this was. And as I said in the report there, we're talking about a lot of young people as well. It said in the report on it as well, and I don't think I need to cover any more of the report, but I'll just give you guys a bit of the rundown of it. Essentially, is that this wasn't I generally want to be this clear. There wasn't intention here. I don't think this was like an attack or anything like that. I generally think it was a case of, you know, sparks flew, a fire was lit, and it got out of control, and unfortunately people died, and many people suffered severe and terrible burns. And unfortunately these tragic things do happen. Obviously questions need to be asked of how this happened, why this happened, you know, what kind of regulations the building had. Like, these questions need to be answered, of course, but, you know, 40 people lost their lives. Over 100 people's lives have been affected between now and the rest of their lives because of these scars that they now have. Not just Swiss people, but there have been lots of foreign nationals who also came to this bar as well. Yeah, as you just said, they're packed with tourists. Yeah, because people will go away for the New Year's to celebrate. You know, there were lots of foreign tourists who also who went here and celebrated, looking to have a good time and whatnot, and then this absolutely terrible tragedy occurred. I'll obviously we'll keep an eye on it, on more developments as it goes, but, you know, over 100 people's injured, 40 lives lost. I mean, it's absolutely horrible. I think it's Switzerland have announced that they are doing 5 days of mourning. The country will have 5 days of mourning as a result of this terrible tragedy, and I think that's justified because of how god awful it is. And I think not just for myself but everyone here, our deepest and heartfelt condolences to friends and families of loved ones who for those who have lost lives and those who have suffered as this terrible tragedy. And it really is, it's questions do need to be asked, but as of right now the most important thing is obviously to try to comfort as best we can to those who have lost loved ones. And I really hope that those who have suffered terrible burns, I really hope that they recover from this. I mean, over 100 of them. It's just an absolute terrible tragedy to experience on New Year's Day as well. An absolutely horrible story, guys. Another story, guys. Of course, today is the day in New York City. Mayor Zohran Mamdani was sworn in as New York City's mayor as he seeks to advance his progressive agenda. Like I've said, guys, this is it. So, we will have to see. Obviously, he's been sworn in here. He did obviously put it on video, because why wouldn't they? You know, it's going to, like I've always said, guys, for those who don't know, like, let's see what he does. It's going to take time. He's got a full year. Well, hopefully, I generally mean this, I hope by the end of 2026, he's able to make some breakthroughs with policy. Obviously, he doesn't control everything, but he has obviously he does have influence. But I really hope that he, in coordination with other departments around the city, does improve the lives of New Yorkers. I really hope it works out for him. I generally mean this because I want it to succeed, and if it does succeed, it will inspire not just other Americans, but people across the world. They will look at it and they will see it as an opportunity to be able to copy and paste some of these things. I really hope they get a free bus system, like, you know, freezing the rent price. Like, these are things that will change the lives of all Americans. All Americans living in New York City. I really hope it succeeds for him. I really do. But now the job officially begins for Zohran Mamdani now. At least reportedly 6 killed during a widening protest in Iran sparked by alleged alienating economy. I think I touched on that on a short video. That one there. The protests are getting fiercer in not just in Tehran but in other cities. They're spreading the protests in Iran. It's a lot of youngsters. They're not happy with the state of the economy right now. The country is still being sanctioned by multiple Western nations. It's not looking good for Iran right now, and they need to do more to help ordinary people there. It's not a very good situation right now for those living in there. Billy's birthday today, if he turns up, says Ellie. Oh, happy New Year, Ellie. Good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining us. It's always greatly appreciated. Is it Billy Kershaw's birthday today? Well, hopefully he pops in. If not, I hope he has a great birthday. I hope he has a great birthday nonetheless. Viral 67 tops 2025 list of overused words and phrases. Yeah, I don't even know where it started from, guys. But yeah, I've done the 6, 7. You know, it's just get it from the kids. I've seen it from the nephews and whatnot. They say 6, 7, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what it means, but sure, okay, I'll go along with it. Trump says he takes more aspirin than recommended by his doctors. Aren't you a smart boy, Mr. President? Aren't you a smart boy? The president told the Wall Street Journal that his daily use of aspirin contributed to his often visible bruises on his hands. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should listen to your doctors and not take as much as you should. Just a suggestion, Donnie. Just suggesting. You know, he couldn't help himself but be an arsehole throughout this whole festive period. By the way, on Truth Social. He hasn't changed one bit. Hasn't changed one bit, guys, at all. Russia rings in New Year with mass drone strikes on Ukraine. Putin says he's confident of victory. Yeah, you keep saying that. You keep saying that, Putin. Big changes coming in for weight loss drugs in 2026. Pills, price changes, and more. Let me guess. They're going up, just like everything else in America. Chelsea Football Club sacks their head coach. Because, yeah, that's what Chelsea Football Club does. Sack their manager. So glad I stopped watching football. Volunteer in Iran's Revolutionary Guard reportedly killed during a widening protest. Oh, that's not good. The Rose Parade. I definitely want to go to a New Year's parade apart from London, like see other ones in different parts of the world. That would be a pretty cool thing to do. 10 governor races to watch in 2026. The midterms this year. Midterms this year as well. US military carries out more strikes against alleged drug boats, killing 8 people. Yeah, because obviously they're definitely drug cartels, because you've definitely provided facts and information to all of us, guys, because we've definitely seen all that information. We definitely have seen all that information, so we can definitely trust. It's not like the Trump administration. It's not like they would lie to the committee, lie to the Senate, lie to the American public about what they're actually doing when it comes to these strikes, and they're not just targeting and killing innocent people, right? Oh, allegedly. Trump says he's removing National Guard troops from Chicago, LA, and Portland. What? Oh, I got to look at this. I've already got 7 minutes? Bloody hell, guys. I'm going way too fast. Development comes after the Supreme Court blocked the Trump administration request to deploy National Guard troops in Illinois. Oh, just a quick reminder, guys. If you want to financially support me, you can buy me a coffee or join the Patreon. Links for both of them in the description. See all these awesome people's names scrolling across along. You can add your name here if you join the Patreon or buy me a coffee. Do one of the two, guys, and your name will get added to this list of fabulous people who have supported me while I'm currently demonetized. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that he's removing National Guard troops from Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland, Oregon, following a major setback at the Supreme Court. We will come back, perhaps in a much more different and stronger form, when crime begins to soar again. Only a question of time, Trump said on Truth Social. Yeah, so the Supreme Court basically told him to go fuck himself when he wanted to take the National Guard for no bloody reason whatsoever from them. So, yeah. Unsigned order, the court rejected the administration's claim that circumstances on the ground in Illinois met the criteria for the president to revoke federal law, allowing him to call out the National Guard to federal service. No, there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. I mean, you might be able to justify it in some Republican states because their crimes are a lot worse, but yeah, you ain't winning that one. California delays revoking 17,000 commercial licenses after immigrants group sues. Interesting. Disney park worker hurt, shielding crowd from £400 prop in Indiana Jones show. Wow. What else we got there? Sports. Not interesting. Sports. Fighting a surge of bear attacks. In Japan's mountainous north, residents are wearing bear bells and carrying alarms to stay safe from the aggressive animals. Oh my god, bears are getting aggressive in Japan. That's pretty frightening. That's very frightening indeed. Dear oh dear. Yeah, if I go to Japan, I'm going with a tour guide, guys. I'm going with a tour guide. User, happy new year to you. Good to see you there in the chat. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're going to have a lovely weekend ahead. I hope you had a great festive season as well. I hope I haven't missed anyone there as well, just in terms of wishing everyone a happy new year. Let's have a look and see what the Times has got to say here in the UK. Newborns could be assigned digital ID alongside health record books. This bollocks story with the Daily Mail. Oh, the plans have been criticised by the Conservative government, but the government says digital IDs can simplify access to public service. Look, I don't know how serious the government are, this Labour government are, about digital IDing newborns, but I hope this is bollocks. I really hope this is bollocks from them, because I haven't heard this story from Sky News, the BBC, or the Guardian, or haven't looked at the Independent. Only the Times and the Daily Mail I've heard this story about newborns getting digitally ID'd by the government. These are the only two. I'm going to assume that the Express probably has it as well. Like I'm taking this with a massive pinch of salt. I hope the government aren't seriously considering this. I hope the government are just literally testing the waters. Or what I'm really hoping is this is utter 100% bollocks, is what I'm hoping this is. I really hope so. Channel crossing small boats up 5,000 in a year. Farage will go double or quits on local elections with £5 million spent. There's a limit on how much he can spend, but he's going to break the limit. He's going to cheat. And Reform UK are going to cheat on the amount they spend, and they're not going to do anything about it. Simon says, good to see you there. Happy New Year to you. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Appreciate it there. Hope he doesn't listen to his doctor at all. Yeah, yeah, you wouldn't want anything to happen to Donny if he didn't listen to his doctor. Yeah. Allegedly. What else they got? Children losing right to send support except in severe cases. ECHR challenges removal should be in a Belgium citizenship. Oh, is it going to the ECHR? Oh. She might win her citizenship back from that. She might win her citizenship back from that, guys. Gary Lineker says the BBC faces too much political interference. Yeah, I do recommend, if you haven't seen it, do check out Gary Lineker's chat with Zach Plansky from... oh God, I can't remember what his channel on YouTube is called, his YouTube channel. But they had a great interview. Someone will put it in the someone will mention the name in the chat. But they had a great interview. I thought Gary Lineker on there was very, very good. If I say Inside Politics, I think it is. I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel. Someone please remind me. My brain is fried at the moment. But yeah, it was a great chat with Gary Lineker and Zach Plansky. I do recommend people checking it out if you get a chance to there as well. Any other stories here that are interesting? Times data on popularity contest, average net approval of party leaders they've got here. Net approval of party leaders. So the most hated right now is Starmer, -50. Farage, -17. Baganov, -15. Davey, -9. Zapolansky, the highest, -5, according to them. In terms of approval, apparently. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. That is the stories from the Times. Let's have a quick nose at the Associated Press before we wrap up, guys. Like I said, we're only, for those who don't know, I normally do a Good Morning show between 11 and 12, but because I couldn't do a Good Morning show, I thought I'd do an evening show for you guys for about an hour. So, and we only do an hour, so I am going to stop in about 2 minutes, if less than that, just for reference. The Associated Press here, about 40 people dead and 115 injured in the fire at the Swiss Alps. We've already touched on that, and I really do Swift. I mean this, a swift and safe recovery for those who are injured. I really, really mean that. Health subsidies expire, launching millions of Americans in 2026 with steep insurance hikes. Those fucking Republicans have going to kill so many Americans as a result of that. Remember when I told you guys during the government... I don't know how many of you guys remember, but I said during the government shutdown, I said if the Democrats fold on the ACA, that Americans will die as a direct result. Americans will die as a direct result. So many Americans are going to die this year. So many are going to die this year. And this is not just on Republicans. This is on Democrats as well. Because the Democrats folded. They folded during the government shutdown. Because they got too much pressure from businesses, because they knew they couldn't pressure Republicans to work more on the ACA. So what did all the businesses and influencers do? They pressured the Democrats, and the Democrats folded like the fucking flobs that they are. And now millions of Americans are going to die. Never mind suffer, die as a direct result of this. They will not be able to afford this. So many are going to die as a result of this. This kind of healthcare shit, this is what Nigel Farage wants in the UK. It's dangerous. It's so dangerous. And so many people out there don't realise how fucking bad it is to live without healthcare. It's so bad. People outside of America, honestly, they do not realise just how fucked up their healthcare system is. And it's about to get a hell of a lot worse. It's going to get a hell of a lot worse. I seriously, I feel so sorry for people right now in America. Because at the end of the day, they don't deserve this. They shouldn't have to pay more for their healthcare. They shouldn't be paying what they're paying now. Never mind the hikes that they're getting now. Healthcare is a human right that everyone should be entitled to. The job of a government is to protect its people. And there is nothing about this US government that gives a flying fuck about its people, because they are allowing these corporations to rip the heart and soul out of Americans, taking them for every fucking cent that they can and leaving them with nothing. And they wonder why healthcare, mental health goes through the fucking roof. Never mind so many people going homeless. Shit like this. Absolute tragedy. It is a national tragedy on the United States of America, their healthcare system. A national tragedy. And the problem is, many Republican voters, they will not feel it until their bills come in. And when they start realising they've got to pay more for it. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I don't have sympathy for Republican voters. Trump voters, it's those who have always been on the right side of history, the Democratic voters, people on the left living in America, those who understand the situation. It's those who I feel sorry for, guys. It's those who I feel sorry for. That's it. Bold Politics. Thank you, Sarah. Bold Politics, Zach Plansky. Thank you so much, Sarah. Yeah, that's the YouTube channel. Bold Politics with Zach Plansky, guys. The interview with Gary Lineker. Thank you for that. Saz, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Happy New Year to you. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. USA is going down the drain this year. Farage will bring this to Britain. He will bring this to Britain. People need to sound the alarm on this. You know? Okay, guys. Like I said, I was only going for an hour. And I appreciate everyone coming out for this hour. But I just wanted to wish everyone a very happy new year. I appreciate you guys coming out for your support. Hope you guys are enjoy the rest of your evening, wherever you guys have got planned. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another good morning show, and that'll be the last live stream for this week. But next week, guys, we've got a lot coming up for those who don't know. So let me just quickly run through it before I go. So we have good morning shows Monday to Friday next week at 11 a.m. Do join me for that. Also, our Prime Minister's questions I'll be covering Wednesday at noon. So if you guys want to join me for that. We'll also have live streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. The next week, Thursday, myself and Van Man Talks will be doing a live stream together. If you guys don't know Van Man Talks, he's as a man in a van, he talks about news and politics. So if you want to check out his content, I think his YouTube channel is in the description, but type in youtube.com/Van Man Talks if you want to check him out. So me and him will be coming together talking about all sorts of stuff there. So do join us for that as well. On Thursday, the 15th of January, myself, Dave McGuinness, Daily Blase, and Graham Price of Power to the People, 3 fantastic YouTubers themselves, fantastic people, will be joining me for what we call the Round Table. We do it once a month. I host 3 different fabulous YouTubers. We come together and we talk about news, talk about politics, talk about all sorts of things. Do join us for that show. That's Thursday, the 15th of January. At 8 o'clock, and then the following Thursday, the 22nd of January at 8 o'clock, myself and One Angry Pagan, another YouTuber out there, me and One Angry Pagan, have been doing this every month. We have a show called the Eco Flake Show that we do together. We talk about environment, we talk about the climate, we talk about weather, the impact, rising sea levels, eco stuff, all that. Green energy, environment, all that kind of stuff, guys. We focus on that kind of sector and department, specifically on that YouTube, on that show. So if you guys are interested in that discussion in that topic, do join us for that. I think it's a really, really good one, especially when we care about our planet and whatnot. I think it's a very informative one there. So do join us for that on the 22nd of January. And then at the end of the month, the Thursday the 29th, guys. Thursday the 29th, on that show, guys, I'll be doing something called the Non-Politics Live Stream. What is the Non-Politics Live Stream? Well, I'm going to be trying to do something a little different. I'm going to try not to cover politics. And for this show, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to talk about movies. I'm going to talk about films. I'm going to talk about... And you guys can join in too. We're going to take the politics away from the channel. And for that live stream, we're going to just talk about movies and politics. I'm going to share some of my favourite films and that have had an impact on my life as a child, and some of the films and whatnot that I check out now. And you guys can share some of yours with me there. So if you're a fan of films, you're a fan of movies, whether it's horror, action, drama, romance, whatever it is, join me for the Non-Politics live stream on Thursday the 29th at 8 p.m. And you can check out all the live streams that I have coming up on the front of the home of the channel. On the home tab, you can see all the upcoming live streams, what day they are, what time they're dropping, so you guys can put that on there. Last live stream that I've missed out on the list here, guys, a very important one. So not everyone has a great festive season. Some people really do suffer. Some people really do struggle. And of course, that affects people's mental health. Every couple of months here on this channel, guys, I do something called the Mental Health Live Stream. And initially, I was going to do it for December, but people convinced me to push it to January. And so it's really, really important that every couple of months we talk about mental health, we talk about depression, we talk about anxiety, we talk about these feelings. And we're going to be doing one on Friday, the 9th of January at 3 p.m. And I've got a special guest on, the Witchy Goth. I don't know if she's still there in the chat, but Witchy Goth will be joining me for the mental health live stream. So for 2 hours, between 3 to 5 o'clock max, we're going to be talking about mental health. We're going to discuss it. You guys can share and talk about it there. And I think that's a good time to talk about it. I know it's a bit of a weird time slot, guys, because normally I'd prefer to do morning or evening live stream. Main reason why we're doing it 3 o'clock in the 3 o'clock time rather than that is I have a good morning show. But I think the timing is suitable because we can talk about real problems that are going on, some real things, whether it's going on with your mental health and whatnot, and we can go into Friday Frolics, which is a live stream with Daily Blase, which does a lot of funny stuff and banter. I think that would be a good thing there as well. And Stephen Baker wants to point out to you all that my birthday is on January the 18th as well, which is sadly on a Sunday, guys, which unfortunately, guys, I don't think I'll be doing a live stream on a Sunday. I might do a cheeky one. Maybe. I'll see. I'll see how I feel, guys. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, that weekend I'll probably be doing some stuff with family and whatnot. But yes, my birthday is on the 18th there. So yeah, thank you guys all for listening for all that. I really appreciate you guys sticking around listening to all that information. Again, do check out the home tab on the YouTube channel and you'll see when my next live stream will be, just for reference. But thank you guys for all coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. If you do want to financially support me while I'm currently demonetized, you can buy me a coffee or join the Patreon. Links for both are down below. If you do, please, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And your name will get added to the wonderful list of people there just to help keep me going. Because Google are still holding my money hostage, guys, at the moment. I don't know when I'm going to get that money. Never mind getting remonetized, but I'm not getting that money. And I was supposed to get a significant chunk for December, and I've not got it, guys. So if you guys want to support me, please do. It really does help support me in my work. But thank you guys again. Happy New Year. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers for 2026. On your way out, if you can, for me, guys. If you can't financially support me, you can do something for me on your way out. Hit that like button. Share this across social media. Subscribe if you haven't too already. Like I said, check out links for all the other great stuff down in the description below. Join our Discord community for free as well. And thank you all so much for watching. Happy New Year. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon.